Hello and welcome back to Food Entertainment for my review of 1967's You Only Live Twice, which is part of the James Bond collection on Blu-ray. We'll be talking about the plot of the film, the world's opinion of the film, my opinion of the film, which is very interesting, considering the fact that this is my favorite Sean Connery James Bond movie, but I do have some things I do need to address that might become interesting to you. And of course, the quality of the Cadillac title and a ranking of the film. During the Cold War, America and Russian spacecrafts go missing, leaving each superpower believing the other is to blame. As the world tenders on a blink of nuclear war, British intelligence learns that one of the crafts has landed in the Sea of Japan. After faking his own death, secret agent James Bond is sent to investigate. In Japan, he's aided by Tiger Tanaka of the Japanese Secret Service and beautiful Aggie of Japanese Secret Service. He will help him uncover a sinister global conspiracy. Okay. The world's opinion of You Only Live Twice. Believe it or not, the world's opinion of the film is actually mediocre. Some people like it, some people don't like it. I think that at this point in the James Bond films, you've kind of gotten used to Connery playing this darker, sinister Bond, which he still does in this particular film, although he did get a little bit lightheaded in the last two films, being, more comedic than usual. He's not so much in this one. Well, there are some perks, obviously, here and there. But this is probably the most victoriously fantasized James Bond movie out of the Connery installments. Other ones are pretty realistic. This one, not so much. Now let's go on to my opinion of the film. This is my favorite Sean Connery James Bond movie, due to the fact that if you're in the mood for a random James Bond film, at least to me, the more out there, the more escapism that the film has, and the more fantasy there is in the film. If I'm in the mood to escape from reality because I had a bad day and I want to watch a James Bond film, this is the type of one I would watch. Of course, if just going for a random Bond movie, I usually try to be as faithful as possible to the novels in which they're based. Which brings to the controversialness of this movie. You Only Live Twice, the movie, is absolutely nothing like the book. Nothing. It's my favorite Sean Connery James Bond movie, but it is nothing like the book source material in which it's based off of. The problem, and this I kind of addressed in the last review, which I did of Thunderball, about why I gave it a 3.5 star ranking instead of a 4-star, is because that one little decision in Thunderball actually changed the narrative of the Bond movies. Is they should have been made. Like, for example, in this movie, Only Live Twice, James Bond finally meets Blofeld, much like he would have met Blofeld in the previous movie. Because in the book Thunderball, which I'm actually still reading, Bond meets Blofeld in that book, and that starts their rivalry of, the sort of villain Never Blofeld, and of course our hero James Bond. Actually, that story starts in the novel Thunderball, and they kind of took elements of that and put it into this movie. Now the big problem, making You Only Live Twice is the second movie of the Spectre trilogy being adapted to the screen. In novel version, the middle installment is On Her Majesty's Secret Service. The concluding chapter is You Only Live Twice, which is the reason why the book is so radically different. The book, primarily the book's plot for You Only Live Twice is James Bond gets demoted from 00 to MI6 analyst and gets sent to Japan to track down a mysterious mastermind with a world domination plan, just to find out that is Blofeld, suffering from PTSD and gunning for revenge from the tragedy of his wife. He was murdered by Erskine Blofeld in the previous novel on Majesty's Secret Service. James Bond goes on a bloody, bloodshed revenge mission to get even and get revenge against Blofeld for murdering his wife. Now, there's certain elements of the novel that are put into the movie, yes. But interesting enough, the most recent James Bond film, No Time to Die, a lot that goes on in that movie is actually taken literally from the pages of the novel in which You Only Live Twice is based off of. So, that said, You Only Live Twice is one of my favorite James Bond movies. It was one of my favorite James Bond films when I was a child, even if it's not faithful to the novel. This is a pure escapism. This is pure fun. The action in it is good. The Bond girls in the film is good. Sean Connery is his best, in my opinion, in this film. I just completely love You Only Live Twice. Now let's talk a little bit about the Blu-ray quality. The Blu-ray is very, very, very good. Because like I said, the massive restoration, the 4K restorations of these films, which took about something like 4 years to do, and was finally released in 2006 during the release of Casino Royale on DVD originally, but then finally it got closer to what it's supposed to look like with the Blu-rays. Literally looks like it's 4K. I mean, that's how good the films are, because they technically are 4K. They may not be mastered in 4K with actual Dolby Vision plus HDR10, but they might as well be, because that's how good they look. The DTS 5.1 Master Audio sound presentation is very, very good. It fires on all cylinders. You have a lot going on with the audio. Definitely a fun ride. I definitely enjoyed every minute of watching this movie again. Now let's go ahead and get the film ranking. I would definitely give You Only Live Twice a 3.5 star ranking. I'm not going to give it a 4-star ranking. I know it's my favorite Sean Connery movie, but much for the same reasons that I gave Thunderball less than 4 stars. It's a lot of ways the same reason why. Because watching it this time, because let's face it, we are basing my rankings off of this particular time that I watched the movie. Not off of previous times throughout history that I watched the film. Off of this time I watched it. And having complete knowledge of what could have been if they made Thunderball, Unrestricted Secret Service, and You Only Live Twice the way that it should have been made, based off of the source material, the film could have been so much better to me. And it's just as a distraction. I'm definitely going to have to give this film a 3.5 stars, just because I enjoyed the film, but I do have that little problem with it. Well, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys on the next review.